A firearm discharged after a heated clash broke out between Jack Branning and Ravi Gulati. Viewers of EastEnders have voiced worries that a long-running favourite may have lost their life in the soap's dramatic gunfire twist, as Kat and Zoe Slater appear too predictable as suspects. Fans anticipated chaos in Albert Square this week, with Michelle Ryan's Zoe making her long-awaited comeback after 2 decades away. Although Zoe arrived in London back in June, she refused to step foot in Walford because she wanted to avoid facing her mother, Kat. Hinting at a dark secret, Zoe was lured back to her former home by her brother Tommy Moon, who lied by saying he planned to swipe their dad Alfie's bank card for her. After exchanging glances the night before, audiences finally witnessed Zoe and Kat reunited on screen during Tuesday's episode. Things didn't run smoothly for the two, even though Kat was overjoyed to be reunited with Zoe, who only seemed interested in grabbing her cash and heading off. After sharing an uneasy look with her old fiancé Anthony Truman inside the Queen Vic, Zoe slipped upstairs while Kat tried to come up with reasons for her to remain. Bringing up her troubled childhood, Zoe was intercepted on the staircase by Big Mo, who greeted her warmly with a hug and persuaded her to sit down for a family meal. Resembling the Slaters of the early 2000s, their gathering was interrupted when social workers arrived to check in on Tommy's well-being. Zoe's attitude shifted once she discovered Kat had struck Tommy during one of his aggressive outbursts, remarking that some things never really change. While opening up in the bedroom, Zoe confessed to her mother that she wished she had ended the pregnancy that resulted from being assaulted by her Uncle Harry as a teen. Later, after sharing a rare moment of harmony outside, and with Zoe once again hinting at a hidden secret, a gun suddenly discharged as Jack Branning and Ravi Gulati clashed nearby. Earlier in the episode, drug dealer Ravi had recovered his missing firearm, which sparked a violent struggle with police officer Jack as the two wrestled for control. Although the storyline strongly suggests Kat or Zoe may have been shot, viewers on the EastEnders Reddit forum suspect another Slater relative could be the victim. First appearing in 2000 alongside the rest of the Slater clan, Layla Morse, Gary Oldman's sister, has portrayed the family's matriarch for a quarter of a century. EastEnders family gutted as 3 beloved members are brutally killed. There's major foul play ahead in EastEnders next week, as a pack of foxes savagely wipe out Nigel Bates's flock of chickens. Yes, fan favourites David Peckham, Posh and Sporty, the Square's newest feathered additions, are set to make a dramatic exit after only a short stint on screen. The only person likely to crack a smile is Phil Mitchell, who's had enough of the constant clucking and racket in recent weeks. As fans may remember, Nige mistakenly left the pen gate ajar last month, giving David Peckham the chance to wander off on his own adventure. After narrowly dodging a fate as part of a McClunkey's menu, the bird became fascinated by a sign for a private hen do at Harry's barn, only to strut straight into Yolande Truman's bridal bash. Talk about clucking chaos! Julie Bates scooped him up and returned him safely to the coop. But sadly, that wasn't the end of the poultry drama. Nigel and Julie soon realize the chickens have been killed, and it quickly becomes clear that Nigel is unintentionally at fault. But what exactly has he done? A heated row follows, leaving him shaken as he struggles to remember the details of what happened. Adding to his unease, he notices Julie taking a number of suspicious phone calls. She insists she's simply waiting to hear back about a potential job in Walford, though the conversation stirs up old emotions between them. Overwhelmed, Nigel decides he needs some space and asks Phil to drive him out to the countryside in the Morris Minor to clear his head. What Phil doesn't realise is that Nigel's true intention is to embark on a personal pilgrimage, tracking down a time capsule he buried with Grant Mitchell during their younger days. To their surprise, the hunt is short-lived, as they quickly locate the very spot. Opening it up, the two are stunned by what's inside, and the discovery sparks a heartfelt conversation as they reminisce about the past. Back in Walford, Julie begins to feel pushed aside watching Nigel and Phil revel in the excitement of their adventure. Can Julie ever find common ground with Phil, and will her tensions with Nigel finally be put to rest? EastEnders' Sharon Watts' tragic return sealed after jaw-dropping cliffhanger. EastEnders viewers believe Sharon Watts could be set for a devastating comeback after tonight's episode, having spotted what they see as a major clue during the tense cliffhanger. While Zoe Slater has now officially made her dramatic return to Walford, fans are still eagerly awaiting Sharon's reappearance. And after the latest installment, many suspect it might happen sooner than expected, though possibly under tragic circumstances. Audiences were captivated as Zoe finally stepped back into Albert Square, reuniting with her nan Mo Harris and meeting her younger brothers, Bert and Ernie, for the very first time. But the family reunion wasn't all smooth sailing, as Zoe clashed fiercely with her mum Kat, leading to a fiery row that saw both storm out of the Queen Vic. Out on the street, tensions escalated further when Jack Branning discovered Ravi Gulati had broken into his home in an attempt to retrieve the missing gun. Their confrontation quickly turned into a violent struggle, and both were left horrified when the weapon suddenly fired. It's clear that someone has been shot, but the burning question is, who? Speculation has been running wild on X, formerly Twitter, with many fans convinced the victim is Sharon Watts. Earlier this month, viewers were thrilled when Sharon made a surprise appearance in Zoe's comeback trailer, marking her first sighting since Martin's funeral. Now, fans are convinced Sharon's brief appearance hinted she would be tied into Zoe's return storyline, and worry this could mark her heartbreaking comeback to Albert Square. On X, formerly Twitter, one viewer speculated, what if the person who got shot is actually Sharon in a shock twist? We already saw her in Zoe's promo clip. Why include her unless it leads to something major? And how fitting would it be if Zoe ended up saving Sharon's life after everything with Dirty Den? Another fan added, they'd never actually kill Sharon off, but this could be the perfect way for her and Zoe to finally find common ground after all the history with Den. A third agreed, writing, honestly, it would be a brilliant way to bring Sharon back, far stronger than her last return with Keanu's Secret, and it would make this week go down as one of the soap's most iconic ever. Why is Sharon standing next to Patrick when Zoe arrives? Another fan asked. Meanwhile, some viewers think it could be Kat, Zoe, or Mo who ends up getting shot following the major clash between Kat and Zoe. Many are betting on Kat, which would explain why Zoe remains in Walford. So let me get this straight. We won't know who was shot until Thursday? My money's on Kat, and that's why Zoe sticks around, wrote one fan, while another added, it's definitely Kat who got shot. Zoe getting hurt just doesn't add up. EastEnders is keeping viewers in the dark, so fans will have to tune in later this week to find out who was shot and whether they make it through. Catch EastEnders Mondays to Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One or stream it on BBC iPlayer.